get started.
Okay. Well, welcome to the 7-9 meeting. We'll call the meeting to order. Do you mind taking roll call?
Yep, Marty Basic will be here, so we'll check him in. Ryan Crater. Here. Terry Johnson.
Yes.
Tom Probbins. Here. Andrew Brinkley.
Here.
Kevin Repchek.
Yes, sir.
Aaron Risden.
Yes.
Jason Ruggles.
Present.
Elaine Vincent. All right. Start there.
All right, so we have the meetings from the May meeting. Any questions? Do I have a motion to adopt the minutes?
So moved.
I hear a motion to adopt. A second, please.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, meetings are adopted. Is anyone on from the community? Amy? My wife's in transit. They're driving back from New Orleans, and she's like, I might just have something to do. I'll just get on with it. I don't see them, so. All right.
How long of a drive is that?
It's depending on how you could do it in 16, maybe 17 hours. They're doing 12 hours today and 4.5 tomorrow. It's great. Stopping in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll drop something off. Anyway, no new items to report from my end. Commissioner Silverman?
I gave some information out to the group here. We had a couple presentations last night I thought the group would be interested in. One is the Activate Uptown. It's a follow-up to the Vibrant Uptown work that was done last year. And it's scalable. It's also expensive, which is why it's before the group here. But we get a sense of what some of the things are. If you go to the fourth page in, where it says Next Evolution. And so the report focuses on some areas to address, like Clock Tower Plaza, some things to try and spruce up that area. Next would be the portal going down to the T, or coming up from the T. Next is Parsway, and finally Clearview Common. The Clearview Common, that work is the most expensive. So it's the sort of thing that there's some various folks putting their heads together with design ideas. Again, spitballing ideas, it's scalable, how much we added, that kind of thing. I can go through kind of the whole whatever, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory of some of the ideas. You can see probably the biggest, again, back to the most expensive, is Clearview Common. One of them is literally, the idea is to just remove Alfred Street parking lot and just make Clearview Common that much bigger. Another idea is to make Alfred Street that much narrower. So again, these are kind of blue sky kind of designs, and some of the pricing reflects that. The Port Authority, or the PRT is involved in this, so some of the ideas like Parsway, the buses, they're aware this was being thought about. Same thing with narrowing Clearview Common, again, PRT aware. And so the idea of it being one way only going uphill, they're aware, they're cool with that. I didn't realize until the meeting last night, I didn't realize that Alfred Street had actually been narrower way back when. Ann Walker Wilson said it had been narrow. It was before it came to Mount Lebanon. So it's a back to the future type thing or not, but anyway. So you keep going, you've got, again, back to phasing, the idea of not doing it all at one time. And then getting to some of the cost estimates, and including various contingencies in here. And again, is this work being done in 2027, 2028? There's some factoring in there as well for what those costs would be. Again, it's as you can see, all told, all this stuff works out to be a little over $7 million. And then, goes up for 2027 to roughly 7.4. In 2028, roughly 7.7, 7.8 million. So
Those are just estimates for price escalations?
Right.
Okay.
And so it's one of these things where obviously ways to go here. The hope is some of the money comes in from grants. If it's government, if it's people who want to make the yada yada memorial bench or something like that. So hopefully there'll be some things that help with the cost, but it's a number. Certainly two of the commissioners in the room and those who will be here beyond my term expiring are very excited about this and really want to see this proceed. So the idea is that, this will continue on to next year, not just because, Eric Miller Iron gave this presentation, also there are at least two commission champions for this. So what this works out to be coming back as far as, one, I want to make this group aware. Two, we'll see what happens if this winds up being, I assume, this number bond issue to pay for it. But again, I just trying to keep you all aware of big ticket stuff. And this certainly qualifies as such. Yeah, exactly. So, but that's a quick blow through the presentation. I think we talked about it for an hour last night. I think I did the whole thing in 120 seconds. But I don't know if any questions. It's a lot. Maybe take a look and we can always come back.
How much parking would you lose?
There's 21 spaces, 22 spaces in that lot.
Plus on the street.
Plus 5, plus a handicap
So
slash.
30 spots is, that's a lot.
Well,
Yeah,
especially
27
compared to how much
spots.
street parking actually is.
Yeah.
Right. And you're trying to make Uptown more accessible and you're taking away parking.
Well, the thought is to say, it's a destination, whatever, people, they walk up, they go to the restaurants, whatever, they have a place to say, oh, it's not like I get it and leave, I get it and stay for a bit.
Right.
To your point, we'll go somewhere else. I mean, we know the South Garage, for instance, has capacity. So people say, okay, I'll park over there instead. But this is not going to be inexpensive. One of the questions I asked was the pavers. You see the pavers for Parsway and pavers likewise for Alfred Street. And I'm told, because if buses on there, if they can handle the weight, they can handle the load. I'm thinking of Dormont, and you can see it's no, it'll be better. Okay. But that was a concern I had. You look at the pavers, this is Alfred Street. Just the vehicular pavers alone are $667,000. Wow. I'm going, ouch. Of course, I had ouch for a couple items in here, but obviously you put something like in there at that expense, it's gonna hold up. Again, scalable, so if you think about Parsway, and let's say the idea is to say, well, let's elevate the sidewalk and maybe wait to put in some of the benches or something like that. It just, there's ads that can be put in later, that kind of thing. So, but this is a blue sky project.
So to your point about parking, so there's leveraged areas that we don't have much utilization that with this project, especially in this area, while Commissioner Silverman did mention South Garage, with it being rebuilt, could there be more of a utilization for that area? Probably not. Let's all be honest, people are path of least resistance, they're gonna take it. But if we can make improvements to Parsway and make that more of an inviting space, we have 48 spots underneath the North Garage that no one knows about.
Really?
I bet you guys don't even know it's there.
Underneath?
Off of Parsway. There's two things that need to be addressed there. One is letting people know it's there. There's 48 spots down there covered. But the second is, the covered is not very appetizing because we need to fix the pigeon problem.
Yes.
Yes, it's a little.
Yeah, but it's there, right? We can fix that pigeon problem, we can close it. There's things that we could possibly do, potentially do. And we'll discuss those, but that's all part of that project. So to your point, it's not noted, it's going to be an issue. We know that because a seen surface lot is a perceived takeaway when there's only 4 permits that's sold for that lot, and that's routinely empty. If we can make that appealing to then walk out onto Parsway where it's not the dumpster issue and other things, and we can make it more appealing to then just do a short walk and you're at the same spot, and utilize the assets we do have.
And it's covered, so.
And it's covered, right.
Get out and use an umbrella versus getting rained on.
Or you can go straight up to the north, you can also go up
Yeah.
to, you know, straight up. So, and there's elevators right there, there's everything that you need, for it to be a usable lot. So there's things we can do there. So there's a lot that goes into this plan, but that's just one that I think Eric did a great job in that way of saying, okay, these are our assets we have now, how can we best utilize them? And picking those off, so.
Is there any kind of like economic impact studies, you know, to figure out, you know, if one of these drives more people to uptown at Lebanon, to the businesses, to the restaurants, does that go along with choosing one of these, or is this sort of just a, you know, what we like the best versus what it costs kind of thing, right? Like if we do the Clearview Commons, does it bring more people to uptown at Lebanon to spend more money? We lose 30 parking spaces, but we drive extra $50,000 a month up to businesses in Lebanon.
I think that's part of it. I think if there's the economic vitality of a plan like this, but I think in addition, the commission really tasked, and really they heard through the Activate Uptown process, and correct me if I'm wrong, Commissioner Silverman, but it was more of a gathering space. We don't really have a cohesive area for gathering. Even Clearview Common, as it states today, its original intention is not being used the way it was originally intended. And the data showed from what they were doing that it's really not being utilized for what its intended purpose was. More of a gathering space, and we think we can bring more people to it. Yeah, we think it's gonna be able to do that and bring that economic vitality as well as a social gathering space.
An example like the farmer's market Saturday mornings, it just doesn't work in
It's
the
kind of all over
current
the place,
space.
you gotta walk
Yeah,
across
right.
the street, and this and that.
Well, not so much that, it's downhill, the flow is not great.
And they would also turn Alfred Street into one way, right? So you have more cartway to deal with that you could put vendors on the, you know, so you could have a whole cohesive for a farmer's market or for when we have Final Fridays and all those different things. It's much more, you can have more, there would be no curb.
Yeah.
They would actually eliminate the curb. So you would have more of it feel like a, the one that it reminds me of is like when I was in Charlottesville, where you like just walk out and you're on the middle of a way. That's kind of the feel I was getting from the presentation. But, you know, that's where you just, you know, you're on a, they close it down and boom, you're on a normal, you know, pathway. But that's at least what I envisioned when he talked about it. But
And the question you were saying about vitality, I mean, how much are people saying, oh, maybe I'll rent that space, or maybe, you know, weddings, gatherings, whatever, to utilize. I think certainly from this presentation, I'm reluctant to mention the cover memo here, but the idea of saying just a center point, and I certainly didn't hear the conversations last night of that math, saying subtract parking spaces, get more people to stay. I think just the idea of we spent this money to improve Lebanon as far as the uptown and streets. Let's get people to stay there. You know, spend more time there, walk around. You know, what does that mean? You know, I'm glad you mentioned the parking spaces at North Garage. And, you know, it's the greatest source of quarter way. It's like, if we have the farmer's market here, that opens up the parking spaces where the farmer's market is now.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the thought process, just trying to, because there's a survey in here talking about maybe half of the people go, yeah, maybe I go there, maybe it's underutilized.
Yeah.
So let's get something that's in our business district set up so it can be more utilized. Now, the question for the board, the question for future commissions is gonna be, how much for what price? And, you know, that'll be something yet to be worked out of what all to put in there. There's certainly things of shade trees and stuff like that, so at least, you know, it can get a fair amount of use. I mean, I'm not sure, even with global warming, how much people are using this thing in January, February, and March, but still, you'd like to think for a lot of the year, people can utilize the space. So,
You mentioned like, you know, I don't know, for lack of a better word, sponsorships, like the Commissioner Silverman bench or the Andrew McCurry.
as long as it's not the memorial
roadway. No,
bench.
I didn't use that word. But I mean, how, do you have an estimate or a thought about how that could really be active? Like you pavers, I mean, we, like think about schools, like you'd sell, every brick gets sold to somebody, things like that, that just something. I don't know, if you haven't thought about what that might look like?
Well, I think the idea of the bricks, I think it's an excellent idea, because that was not mentioned about the pavers. I know there's a thought that could be $1 million in grants coming in, state dollars. Now, how much of that could be dollars also from naming rights and so forth? And again, this is a very high-level presentation. But I think the idea of the naming bricks it's an excellent one. Somebody said that's where I want to make some donation of some sort, honor a family member, that kind of thing. Selfishly, I'm like, yeah, anything that helps defer the cost. I know we were talking as commissioners when it became, all right, how much money do we put into Vibrant Uptown or put into this project versus a sewer project? And I said, I don't think anybody's going to want a sewer line named after them.
Right.
You may, however, have someone willing to, they want to buy a paver.
You literally
or
have a
remember
vested
family
interest
member.
if you have a brick with your name on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanna go see that, I wanna show it to my friends or something like that. Or remember it.
You get a sense of the uproar over the Pirates destroying all those bricks over at PNC Park.
Yeah.
That gives you some idea, to your point,
Yeah.
how much people invest in that. It's in my hometown, or this is, my kids were born here, whatever, that I could see where people want to do that.
I'm sorry, one more question, I didn't mean to.
Sure, no, that's what this is here for.
And this is, you're gonna answer this question probably, but this is like, from a contingency perspective, a 30% number. Is that based on just how projects have historically gone? Like, are there that many unknowns?
I would say yes.
Okay.
And I think Eric was going, there's a lot we just don't know.
Yeah.
And so they threw a number out.
Yeah,
That was
like what
my
time of
take.
year
Andrew, they got a
and-
different take on it.
Okay.
He was just going,
I mean, this is not a
It's gonna be
bid.
more than that, I
Yeah,
will
it's-
guarantee you.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. It's not a bid, it's not a construction drawing, I get it, I just.
It's probably gonna be more than that.
Okay. But if you were putting something together, what would be a typical contingency to carry? That the town-
Minimum's 10.
Yeah.
Minimum's 10. But knowing how we have to use the competitive wage, there's municipal standards for the bid process, and depending on how it all shakes out, 20% is pretty good. 30% is probably closer to where these end up. Especially when you're dealing with concrete.
Yeah. Well, I know if you didn't have it in there, somebody would see the wrong number, that you're out, you're never gonna go anywhere, so
Yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the explanation.
any other questions about this presentation? The other, again, keeping the group aware, is the 2025 contract summary update from Gateway Engineers. And it's just something with a lot of dollars, which is why I want the group to be aware. These are the 28 projects that Gateway is involved in, this 2025, in various stages of completion. So it's important to know this stuff is all going on out there, and you can see categories, but storm and sanitary sewer maintenance to recreational to just miscellaneous. That you know what's going on. I mean, some of this you would have seen from the budget discussions last year, where this stuff got approved. But I just felt like, again, giving this group this background information, of where dollars are being spent, that kind of thing.
The majority of that, just a little bit more context, the majority of the first page is routine year-over-year items.
Budgeted,
Majority of that first page.
fully budgeted and paid for.
Correct, yeah, that's a typical year. There's really not much highlighted projects that aren't. Anything down to recreation facilities are, the only things that aren't really year-over-year are the Washington Road accessible pedestrian signals. There, you can actually see them being installed now. So if you go down Washington Road right there at the Stevenson Williams building, they installed them today. So you'll see they're going up now. And then some of that consent order stuff, but that's gonna be routine here. That's newer, but it's gonna start to become routine. Recreation facilities, typically those aren't routine, so those are all kind of ad hoc projects. And then the miscellaneous are typically ad hoc projects. So half of them are routine, but some years we have higher frequency of projects. A bond issue helps that, and helps expedite it. As you can see, it's borne out here that a large majority of some of these ad hoc projects are funded by the bond issue. More fun for me.
Can I ask a silly question?
That's the only ones I accept.
Unless anyone to offer. Gateway engineers, lots of jobs. Are they have a contractual relationship with the city? Are they prime, or are they actually the hands-on executing agent? Like sometimes I'm speaking from experience. I go to company X intern will then sub it out to a bunch of folks to do the job.
They don't sub only those areas they don't have in-house. So a good example is electrical. So if there's a project that involves electrical, they'll sub that out. But they're typically the prime. They have the prime for the majority of municipal type projects. Civil, of course, traffic, building and structural, they have those on staff. So it's all Gateway.
When I was thinking, yes, they're a municipal engineer, but I was thinking about like brick streets, mill and overlay, it might be contracts to Ando or.
I think he was talking about just the professional service on that
I
end.
just wanted to
Yeah,
be clear
but
what
yes.
exactly you were looking for.
They also offer, inspector as well, like inspection services as well, so we utilize that as well.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Because they do the annual review of the streets, right, in terms of the, what's about to blow up.
Yeah,
They do
that's in part and parcel with our public works director.
Want to make a civil engineer happy, call him a dirt mover.
They've done, the principal on our account is a Mount Lebanon resident as well, so it helps big time, actually.
Yeah.
So he's the one meeting with people in their houses when they get flooded. He goes that far, so it's a nice relationship to have. Won't be that way forever, but
It's a nice way to have it.
yeah, so.
Anyway, so I'll make sure you're aware of this list. So that's my report.
That's a lot. Thank you for sharing. Andrew?
Yeah, just two items to report this evening. One is the bond issue closed on July 2nd, so funds have been received. We had a very successful bond sale. Everything went according to plan. We hit the market correctly, and we were actually lower than we thought. We were 25, don't quote me on that, but I think we were about 25 basis points lower than we were projecting the prior month. So we saved some money there. It was all around good process. The team we have together really works for those size issues. Anything under 10 million, we have a pretty good team that can handle that. So we had $7.5 million at the bank on the 2nd. So it's there now to reimburse the general fund for some, and we already have the majority, except for the south garage. What we're going to be doing with that will be held, but the majority of the other ones are full in construction or have been bid out and accepted. So those funds won't last long except for the parking money. So
Like the pool starts in the fall.
Yep. Tennis court reconstruction 3 and 4 is already done. You guys already did the lighting project. The lighting project will start here shortly. Pickleball will go here at the end of the summer, so on and so forth. So the HVACs are going to be here in 30 days, hopefully sooner, because I have no air conditioning in my office, but we'll talk about that. It broke a piece, so we're at like 25%. So there's periods where you get cool air, but then on those 95-degree days, it was hot.
Oh, yeah.
It was hot.
Yes, you're gonna.
But we've managed-
Some cross ventilation, which just blows hot air.
Yeah, we can't complain though, because public safety building had it happen a couple of years ago where they had that, and so I can't get it, it's okay. They were wearing bulletproof vests and uniforms, and like, I can come in a polo shirt and, take my shoes off and be fine. I'm not being called out anywhere, so we have no excuse to be complaining, so that's it. Then secondly is, August 1st, the capital improvement plan will be out, so we'll be discussing that next meeting for the capital improvement plan. Terry will be here for that meeting. I will not be here for that meeting. She'll be here discussing, she actually reviews it all, so if you guys have any questions on that, that will be released to the commission on August 1st, per the home rule charter, so. That's it.
Aren't any major surprises in that? I mean, that's all.
No,
God, that's like I mean, you publish that every year.
Yeah,
You're just
there's,
adding a year, and I mean, but
It's a rolling 5 years and it's, but I tell, what should I look for? Look for what's in years 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Because, just notice year
Anything
5
further
is
out.
always year
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
You know, it's gotta be in there and it winds up in year 5 and it becomes this rolling whatever. But we need to have it, it's a good guide. But yeah, there's certain things I look at more immediate that are more, I'll say, expenses we're really gonna be seeing as opposed to others are just kind of on the list.
yeah, I mean, there's a definite separation and delineation of routine replacement, routine projects, there are definitely there, but things that are splashy and get your attention are the new things that come on. I.e. if I activate Uptown, that's gonna be much larger this year around, you know, it's we have more of a number for it. So those are those types of things, but there are some big projects coming up, so we have more coming, so.
But turf replacement is what, next year, the year after, I know it's coming up.
Whenever you wanna do it,
But it's gonna be on the
whenever you
schedule.
wanna do it.
It's gonna be on this, it's in the CIP, I just don't remember what
Correct.
year.
Yeah,
Year 1, year
yeah,
2.
which begs the question of the other stuff, so, yeah, so that's what we typically do, so.
Cool.
Yep. That's it, that's all I got.
I was thinking, you mentioned you won't be here, I'm assuming it's vacation related.
Yes,
Okay, do we?
I will be in West Virginia.
Fantastic.
I'll be in South Carolina.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, so are we gonna have enough, do we need to think about that now?
We can, I mean, we can maybe set some
Last
feelers
summer we
out.
had sort of a. and that's
August is,
like-
and
yeah.
plus kids are getting, you guys are
Yeah,
getting
so-
ready for, have kids go back to school and all that different stuff, so, yeah, we can be cognizant of that, we can still review it in September, it's not going anywhere, so.
That's true.
Look, I can't vote, but it's really, as you said, we can wait till September as far as when the recommendation goes up to commission. If you can wait for a September review,
Yeah.
why not cancel the August meeting?
Okay.
I'm for it.
You all have to vote on this, I think, I don't know. So what do you think, is it official?
It's official,
All right,
Done.
so no August meeting.
no August meeting.
Sorry, Marty, we won't get to play Where in the World's Marty? By the way, where are you today?
I am at my parents' house because my house is getting renovated, so I'm getting some free meals out of the deal and air conditioning, which is nice. So
Nice.
Cool.
I remember that one time you were somewhere where there's windows and we were trying to figure out where that was. It was like, you in like Nantucket, or you in like South Carolina or something? All right, on to item 6, old business. Anything to discuss with that today?
Yes. Okay. So, you want to take it away, Commissioner Silverman, or you want me to? Okay, so at the May 27th meeting, and since we missed the June meeting, it's been a bit, but if you want to review, it's about at the hour mark of the meeting, we discussed our report to the commission. So our annual report that we delivered to the commission, asking for direction as what do you want out of this board. They did try to give you at least one project to get out of this board immediately, to start working on. So this has to do with the trash collection. Really going from a high level, going from if we did it in-house, what are we getting for our tax dollar by outsourcing, and what will we get for our tax dollar on a high level if we did it in-house? And if the number is much larger, it is, but we don't have that number, and the commission is looking for that number. What do we expect that number to be if we were to try to do this ourselves in-house? Fully expecting that we could sprinkle in as the analysis moves forward, of sprinkling in, do we regionalize, and then having those discussions with other municipalities in the future. But we don't, the commission feels that they don't have that number to say, okay, doing it in-house is completely out of the realm. And so I think they want to go down that route in this board, is to create that cost study. It doesn't have to be hard and fast where we go out and get bids and, all that stuff. That's not what they're asking. They're asking, hey, do our best job to categorize all the things that we would think would take in an operation. and bring that back to the commission that says, here's your annual cost we expect it to believe. Not upfront costs, so we're not talking, hey, if you had to buy 6 trucks, we're gonna annualize all that. The insurance costs, we'll do our best to go get our insurance costs, what our insurance premiums would be. We can give you personnel costs, we can do all those things and work together to get that number. From there, then, once that's delivered to the commission, then the next steps would then be provided as to where they would like to go, to see what more we could get. The expectation is that's gonna be more than the contractual amount we pay now. Full well knowing that's most likely gonna be that. So if our tax dollar is paying X and the do it in-house is Y, what else can we get for our tax dollar to improve, the goals of the municipality, right? Increased recycling, better service, those types of things, and what can we do to do that? Because what's coming down the pike is that manual collection is not going to be there forever contractually. We don't know if forever we're gonna be able to do what we do now. Whether it be we're priced out of it or it's just not available anymore. If you looked at our last bid, there were only 5 municipalities that were even offered this selection, and the only reason they were offered was because the Westmoreland Sanitary Landfill, who got our business, wanted our business. They bid to get us. They didn't really bid to get, it was Mount Oliver, Dormont, and
Our trash better, like the stuff
Yeah,
we throw
really,
away.
what's going on?
we have enough units to make it.
It's in our trash cans, that was the.
I just know Saturday morning, I forgot it was Friday, I forgot it was Saturday, and I woke up to the trash guy, and he backed up the street to get my stuff. I was like, I need the manual help, because I can't do this.
So, we know that may be coming, so what more can we get for our tax dollar, in fees, right? So how do we build that in? So those are all those types of things that we can then start to work on afterwards, once we know and we can put to bed what that, in-house cost we estimate it to be. Did I miss something at that end?
No, I think you got it. One of the things that we had talked about in one of the previous meetings is, talking trash session. We're really giving everybody that backstory of the number, going back to pay as you throw, going back to, the land, at least 2 different contracts, so at least you've got that history of what we looked at, what the costs were, that sort of thing. So really is when to put that on the calendar, Andrew, to say, is it the September meeting, is the October meeting, whatever, to have that would be I guess, give you all the information and then come back and let's say have the conversation in October, 30 questions, something like that.
It sounds like sooner than later is the ask, so if we're canceling August, that means we're already 2 months.
Yeah, we can prep that and we can have prepared materials for you in September, that shouldn't be a problem. But I think it's not an in-depth, it's not gonna be down to, but hey, we can estimate, hey, we think it's going to take.
We're looking at like a dollar per resident kind of number, like it's gonna cost $500 a resident for trash collection versus what it costs, $350 a resident now kind of thing.
Yeah, we could do it that way, yeah. So we in the past had equated it to millage and what that millage increase would be or decrease would be, depending on what your option is. But yes, we can equate it to the fee that we pay now.
We did it in-house, do we, any place to park garbage trucks? I mean, is there?
No, we don't.
So we'd have to factor that
Correct.
into.
Cost,
Yep. All those things are ready to be discussed.
And there were numbers like cost per house, to your point, of million, all that we see in a lot of the documentation. My suggestion is if it's prepared for everybody to give in September, take some time, come back and talk in October. There's gonna be a lot to, think about what I gave you here and add about that much more paper. So it's gonna take some time to digest.
Paper for you, digital for everybody else.
It's still a lot to digest.
I have paper, this is
No,
all.
I'm just joking. I josh him because, yes.
How much time's left on the contract,
Well, 3 more years after this year, yeah.
and how much lead time is needed to make a decision for?
For in-house,
Yeah.
it'll probably need to be made next year.
I would think.
Because lead time just on a truck is 18 to 24 months. You can rent trucks, don't get me wrong, because we know it's happened, because when Republic Allied took our business in whatever that was,
That
not Waste
transition,
Management,
they
and
had to
Republic
get-
was before that, they had to rent trucks to get up to speed. So I'm not saying that that's the end all be all, but that is a potential, but it would not be the preferred method, but yeah.
And if we go in-house, we have to contract with the landfill someplace too, right?
Correct, you have to pay tipping fees, correct. And ours is some of the reasons why we can throw away what we can throw away here in Pennsylvania is because our tipping fees are so low. Yeah. The waste management's not the only one dumping there. Yeah, so on and so forth.
I think we're still bringing in trash from New York and New Jersey because it's so.
Yeah. Okay, so that gives us good, and we'll start compiling that information for the September meeting.
And for the group to think about between now and the end of the year, budget time, the new budget drops November 1. And last year, some of the members of the group attended one of our budget sessions. Obviously, we don't know the dates yet. But I think that'd be really helpful for as many to attend. And once after November 1, we can give them copies or online access to the budget, because I think we should all know that backstory to see what was the recommended budget, and as we go through the process, what commission is thinking about above the line, below the line, and why. I think that'll help the group as we move forward. I just don't, I know, was it last year, we, in lieu of a meeting, that attend a session instead, but
It was on that night.
yeah, and I don't know what the dates will be, we'll have to see. how it
Most
shakes
likely
out.
will be on that night. That happened.
Because someone has input in the schedule on this.
No, he doesn't.
Someone who schedules this, my hunch is that, so anyway.
It's hard to wrangle the cat sometimes.
Food was good though.
Very. Yeah,
So,
we'll make sure the food's good again, don't
Yeah.
you worry. It's Terry's last meeting,
she's retired.
budget, yeah, she's retiring in December 12th.
I know that Terry's retiring this year.
Yes, oh yeah, she's gone December 12th. Yeah, so she's, this is a sentimental budget for her, so.
Who's gonna be the new Terry, the other,
I
your
don't
new
know.
kids who saw you on TV?
I don't
training them
know,
up?
don't call me on that on camera here.
Yeah.
A personnel issue that.
Got it,
cannot be discussed
understand.
in public
Yeah.
meeting.
I just meant more like the new expert. She'll be sorely missed.
Terry will be very missed.
Absolutely.
She's not going anywhere, she's not, or is she moving to Florida?
She's his grandbabies, all about the
There
grandbabies.
you go.
She'll be our public person on the meeting.
That's right.
That's right.
It's like,
Well, she said she's not coming back as a crossing guard, so that's it. Because the crossing guard supervisor approaches every retiree and says, you wanna be a crossing guard?
That's funny.
Yay.
That's all we got.
all right. Any new items from the group? To share? Okay, all right, and then I guess our next meeting was currently scheduled for the 13th of August, but we have decided to cancel that due to vacation schedules. And we'll move that to the September date.
Pull out the calendar and see what the date is in September.
Come on, it's a good
Yeah,
question.
let's use the faster draw when it comes.
September 10th.
I'll be alive.
Good plan.
Any other items? Anyone else? No? All right, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I hear a motion, any second?
Second.
Seconded, all in favor of wrapping up? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned.